Welcome to part 5 of the S2000 build. I ran over to Superior, the paint shop. Estra's car is over there. I wanted to see how things were going with it, and they'd already started getting ready to paint the car. I took a peek in there to see how things were looking, and after talking to the owner and then the painter, they said, well, you're not really having a whole lot of original paint left. Basically the driver's door, the quarter, and then part of the passenger door, and said this is the point, you may as well just repaint the whole thing. So we said, yep, let's go ahead. Nice fresh white paint will definitely make a difference. So this is the first coat of white. It's base coat, clear coat. I think they'll do several coats of white and then several coats of clear, let it cure, then it'll be wet sand and buffed. But I think it's going to make such the difference. The car is such a nice car, why not have bright white fresh paint? All right, so it's back. The bumpers are just on loosely. We've got to attach those properly, put the lights in. The top was in pretty good shape, and it still is, but now it's got all fresh paint. Now it's kind of like, you almost got to replace it now. I did order this seal, because if we're doing the top, we're going to put this new seal on it. I'm trying to make this thing as nice as we can. The wheels are going away. They're going to have stock wheels on there. Got to go ahead and clean up the brakes. It's just surface rust, but what I'm probably going to do is have those checked, do a light service on those, check the pads. Everything else is pretty good to here. Apart from not having an exhaust, it's kind of loud. But what a difference from when it came in. You remember with the yucky green. Ugh. Look at it now. Fresh paint all the way around. And of course it was done by Superior, so it's good paint. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. Yeah, what a difference. Well, it sounds like a race car, no exhaust. Now we got it inside. Should be able to see this a little bit better. It's so bright outside, it's almost blinding. But that looks so clean. Nothing like brand new paint. The bumpers are just kind of held on. Just a couple of screws here and there, so we're going to put them on with the factory bolts, put the headlights in. We'll put some new side markers in there. We'll put some new emblems on there. We'll put the factory Honda emblems on there with our fixture. All the handles are put back in. I actually went over there and helped them take these handles out. One of them, the screw was really stiff, but the handles were removed to be painted. All these parts, taking them off and painting them and then putting them back is obviously so much better. The wing wasn't on. We got our center light to go back in there. But look how nice that looks when they take all of that out and then paint it and then put it back together. You don't get paint lines.
Yeah. Unknown Brain. Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games, yeah. I know that
I did order the seal and it just came in. If you're interested, there is the part number. There is a few of these left. This is one of those things that just really makes a big difference. They masked it up to paint the white car, but it does have like a real fine lip right here that gives it a much nicer finish. So if you can paint it and then install that and then put a new top, it's going to give it a nice fresh finish. It is pretty expensive, but it's one of those things you can't replace unless you do the top. The top goes, this bolts in with these tabs. I don't know if you can see those down there, and then the top rain channel goes over this and bolts in, so you can't get this off unless you do the top. And then, you know, if you're going to do the top, you may as well do this. You can't see those tabs because it's under there, and the cloth covers it, so it's kind of a pain. You can't replace it, so it's kind of like a, you know, do the top, do that, make it look much newer. They did a really good job finishing it around here. They have a tape that goes underneath, it kind of rolls it back. I mean, this is pretty stiff, but a nice fresh seal is going to make all the difference. With a nice new top, this car is going to be really nice. Really excited the way this car is coming out. So now we've got the top off. I wanted to show you something. Once you get the top off, this down here is your drain. And it's kind of tough to see, especially when the top's on, you can't get to it. And this fills up with leaves. If I can get it to light up down there, you can kind of see it's a flat funnel and it goes to a drain line down through to the bottom of the car. You see it's a molded plastic. It's behind that little brush, little felt piece. And if I can zoom in, you can see there's leaves down there. So that's something you definitely want to clean. This is that seal we showed you about replacing. This is the drip rail. Now we cut it off, but that rivets to the factory top and bolts into the factory location. That's one of the reasons we like the OEM one, because it fits absolutely perfect in that channel, and the fabric will fit properly, it lines up right, and it retracts without gathering. So these tips here, they're just a little bit more of a modern look. The AP1 tips are a little plain. These are actually off a Z06 Corvette, believe it or not. They're a swash cut, resonated, and they're perfect size for the AP1. Just look a little more modern, I think. A little later, we're going to demonstrate the LHT fixtures to put the S2000 logo back on. I'm going to show you how they work. We sell a ton of those in the store. It's really important to get those things straight. So this car is now 100% stock. If you remove this, it's color painted underneath. It was designed to remove if you put the factory OEM hardtop on there. That way everything kind of looks right. On the 08 Note irons, they didn't put this vinyl on, which is good because it's a pain to get off. As you see, I'm just working on it little by little. If this comes off, I'm just gonna clean this white and polish it because it should be in good shape. If it doesn't look good, I'm either gonna have it recovered in vinyl or have Superior repaint it in like a satin black so it looks factory and it looks nice. nothing beats a factory soft top. So we let it sit in the sun and it takes out all the wrinkles. We actually own a steamer now, so if we ever have one that we don't have a sunny day, we can steam it. But typically you put them out in the sun and it tightens them right up. I mean, it's tight as a drum and it fits nice. Now the OEM stuff, obviously everyone has their idea of an aftermarket top. Not only does this fit right, it fits tight around here. It fits absolutely perfect. Everything operates correctly. When you retract it, it folds all the way down. I know it sounds silly. We've installed some in the past where when you retract it, it's kind of like one of those old-fashioned cars, you know, where it's all raggedy in the back and it sticks up. One way to notice an OEM glass is it says Honda on the back. We have one in the other shop that is a Robbins top that we did about 4 years ago, and the window's completely separated from the material. So we're not being awkward by not installing your aftermarket top. We just don't like them, and if we don't like them, we're not going to install them. I only install what I would install on my car. So the plastics have to go back together. We're going to go ahead and clean those, and it not only makes it smell nice, if you look back there, you're not seeing any dust and debris on the plastics. So I'm actually using some Adams interior cleaner. I actually use the Armor All bottle because it's better than the squirter that we got from them. Every squirter went bad, so I actually use this bottle. And what I like to do, soak it real good, and then rub it in, and then buff it off. The cowl now looks like brand new. Let me put it down so you can see it. We wash it really good, and then we use SEM dye. It really makes a difference. We did pretty much all of our CRX about 2 years ago, and it still looks absolutely brand new. Wheels are already cleaned up, ready for sale. So this is just going back together. We're putting the interior back together, which I showed you the cleaning parts. This is one of those areas that you don't see until you pull it apart. We want it to look absolutely brand new. So there is going to be an episode 6. We're going to finish putting it together, put the cowl back in. We're going to have the whole car polished. We're going to do a color correction. Is put the new emblems on, put the H's on, put the squirters on, and then it's going to be ready for a new owner. If you like what you see, don't forget, hit the subscribe, hit the share, hit the like, and we'll see you on the next video.